I'll be honest, I don't really want to make this video. I'm making this video because a lot of people have been leaving comments or messaging me about my body and my weight. I've made some people concerned, and thank you for that, but I've had some people concerned who don't comment in an appropriate or helpful way. I've made some people upset, and I get it. You like seeing me naked and now suddenly things have been changing, or even the other way around. Some people are happy to see my look change. I've had people asking me how and why. I know I'm a public image, so these comments are expected. I also know that I don't owe any sort of explanation to anyone. I'm just hoping that this video helps communicate my perspective and maybe reminds you that I'm a real person behind the screen. Obviously, I know that getting naked on the internet means people are going to talk about what they see. I know that, but I want you guys to know that I read the comments you leave, and it does affect me sometimes. Whether it was well-intentioned or a hate comment, anything, I see it all. I read all of it. But there isn't really an easy answer to how and why my weight has fluctuated so much, other than stress, sickness. I've struggled with disordered thoughts and eating behaviors for as long as I can remember, my whole life, and probably the rest of my life too. My earliest memories as a little girl, I remember being self-conscious and hating how I looked for whatever reason. And then by the time I was 12, I was actively struggling with food to the point of it affecting my hormones and development. And puberty is hard for everyone, don't get me wrong, but when it finally hit, it just made me feel even worse. And I'm only 5'2" and naturally curvy. You know, short people are normally more curvy. And my whole life I've heard, well, you don't look like you have an eating disorder. And that's an incredibly harmful way of thinking, especially when I grew up with this issue and my body has had to adapt to keep me alive through it all. You don't know the state of someone's health based on how they look. If you actually knew me, you would see that I'm incredibly unwell. I've been thin, I've been fat. At my highest weight, I thought I was recovered. I wasn't starving myself or counting calories for the first time in my life, so that was a pretty big deal. But looking back, I was still having issues. It was just in a way that I had never dealt with before. So one day I woke up and fell hard back into the old habits, relapsed really hard. And it's been a little over a year of struggling since then. I managed to get pregnant, which was a miracle that I had been waiting forever for and that I want so badly. And I was still counting calories at that time, but only to make sure that I was getting the recommended amount. And I had an insane appetite and felt like I was eating everything all the time, but it was okay because it was for my baby. And then at 9 weeks pregnant, I had to go through a procedure after finding out that my baby died, and things got a lot worse after that. I went from feeling so incredibly hungry every day to just having completely no appetite, and I'm still struggling with that, actually, trying to recognize the feeling of hunger again. I just get like really sick feeling all the time. But I'll be honest though, mentally I was in such a bad place, and I've had to work my ass off every single day to have a life worth living. So I had to prioritize my mental health over my physical health, which is very scary if you've ever been in a similar situation. Stress and control are probably the biggest factors to my eating issues, and going through my miscarriage was easily the worst trigger I've ever experienced. It's so scary when you're like fighting this war in your head while knowing that you're killing yourself slowly, because it really puts you on a time limit to get better. And it feels scary trying to get better too, but there's no actual choice in the matter, because if you want to survive, learn to take care of yourself accordingly. And if I want to have a baby someday, I need to take care of myself. So I don't really know what the point of this video is. I don't expect people to stop commenting on my weight. I maybe just wanted to communicate my point of view and remind everyone to think twice about what is going on behind the scenes in someone else's life. It's hard to talk about eating disorders and mental health, but it needs to be talked about because too many people suffer alone or in silence, and too many people die from this sickness. Of course, a big thank you to everyone who continues to support me through everything. It means a lot to me. I'd like to say that I'll give updates on this, but I don't know if that would be the right choice for me. So right now I'm just gonna leave it at this, and I hope you guys understand. And if you're also struggling right now, know that you're in my thoughts, and you're a lot stronger than you realize, and you can get through anything. Thanks for watching. Love you guys.